Hi and welcome to a new episode of Richer in Crypto. My name is Rogier van Kuik and in this episode we're going to take a look at Quant Network. QNT is the currency, Quant. We're going to take a look at their business model. Why is Quant Network there? Is it still interesting to invest in Quant Network? And why? What is the sustainability of their business model? How do they make revenue? What does the token look like? What is the supply of the token? Is it supplyless or is there a fixed supply? We're going to take a look at the charts. And also some remarks that I found while doing some investigation into this project, what might be very nice to consider or take with you to further investigate on your own. Of course, always do your own homework before you start investing into a new cryptocurrency. But let's talk about Quant. Let's talk about Quant Network and what is the essence, what is the why behind the company. To keep it short, I think the easiest way to explain it is it's not a blockchain. Quant Network is not a blockchain such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, Avalanche, Solana, you name it. It's a utility token, Quant, QNT, and it's something like an operating system, which they call Overledger. Because you can imagine if there are thousands of cryptocurrencies out there in the world, and there are a lot of blockchains. But what if your client needs information from multiple blockchains? Or you need to pull information from multiple blockchains? It might take you a lot of time to go through all those blockchains if they are compatible with your blockchain. That might be very difficult. So Quant Network decided to create something which is Overledger, which hovers above the different blockchains, making it able for developers and blockchains to connect with this operating system, and then making it able to, of course, get information from multiple blockchains and making sure that the information goes to different blockchains where it is needed. Their business model is based on licenses. So developers, companies, clients, they can purchase a license which gives you the right for usage for 12 months. And businesses can buy a license in fiat money, in dollars, euros or whatever. And the value of the total amount of licenses is then locked in Quant, in QNT, for 12 months. Because like everything else in this world, mostly you don't have the full ownership of it anymore, but you rent it for a period of time and then you pay for it. All right, so let's take a look at the currency Quant. What we can see is there is a max supply. I think that's always a positive side of a cryptocurrency if there is a fixed supply. Why? Inflation. If there is not a fixed supply, you will have inflation. That means that the total value of one token usually goes down. And why? Well, because there are more tokens coming in. It's the same with fiat money. If you print more money, then your purchasing power will be less because there's more fiat currency. So with crypto, it's exactly the same. So there is no inflation with Quant. Okay, so 14.6 million is the maximum supply. I read that the initial supply was higher, but the initial coin offering back in the time 2018, there were less people investing into Quant back at the time, so they burned the rest of the tokens. So that's why it's 14.6 million, I believe. And also the circulating supply is already 13.4 million Quant. That means it's only even less, around 10% of the total supply that is not on the market yet. So it's probably held by the company owners or staff working for Quant Networks, which seems obvious to me. So let's take a look at the chart of Quant. What you need to know when we take a look at this chart, this is a chart with data from KuCoin. Back in 2018, when there was the first data of Quant, it wasn't on KuCoin yet. So that means that the earliest date when there's data from KuCoin is February 2021. Okay, so the price that you see here at the bottom, which is around $32, is not the price when Quant got on the market. It was way lower. If you take a look at CoinGecko, the price would have been probably around 20 cents. Okay, so 20 cents to $400 is a really crazy increase in the price. Then it has cooled off quite a bit, because from the top of the market to the bottom of the market at the moment, it's around 90% decrease in value. So we've seen an incredible pump and then a dump, and now we are seeing a new pump. Not as extreme as before, but still the price has increased since June 13th, so mid-June, until where we are now. The price has already increased again with 291%, which is a lot. And you can imagine that Quant Network, Quant, the currency, of course has some upwards potential, because A, it has a fixed amount, B, I think the concept is very interesting. The Overledger concept is very interesting and appealing. So I'm really hoping that companies like Quant Network, more companies will come to help build that infrastructure, that architecture that makes it so much easier and faster to integrate all these blockchains and make it interoperable, really interoperable, cheap, fast, and sustainable. That would be really nice. So if we take a look at their business model, which is of course subscription model, if more clients come in, then of course they make enough money, and the fiat money is used to lock the Quant currency. But there is the issue. I think it's an issue. I'm not sure how they are going to solve it, but if you lock Quant for 12 months, what's going to happen? If you take a look at this pump, for instance, the value of the token in 42 days has increased dramatically. So in 42 days, it's like 280%. So that means that you potentially lock the Quant for a period of time, 12 months for instance, but the value is not really stable. So if there is more ask in the market, it's my opinion, of course, if the total value of one currency is a lot higher, you don't have to lock so many coins. But if there is a very large demand, I'm not sure how they're going to do that. So that's an interesting question. And if you want one of you knows the answer to that, please let me know in the comments. It would be very interesting to know what the vision is of their company, looking at this kind of growth numbers, also looking towards the future. You can imagine, let's say that Quant is going to be very big in 10 years from now. The value of $150 is nothing, because it's a fixed amount, so the value could be way, way higher than it is today. But on the other hand, if the business model is not sustainable, or the tokenomics, the model isn't sustainable, and also the exact tokenomic model is not on the website of Quant Network, I couldn't find it. It's also not in the white paper, so I don't know exactly how that works, but I think it's a question mark. But still, it's interesting to take a look at these kind of projects. So to me, if I take a look at the numbers, the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is now 64 on the weekly, and Bitcoin is a lot lower. So it already pumped. So the question is it going to pump some more before it corrects? I think if you take a look at the current economic circumstances, it's not strange to think that a currency can have another correction before it could potentially go up. But I think a currency like Quant has the potential for higher prices if their model succeeds, and if they can connect more businesses, investors to help further build and develop on their Overledger, the power of their Overledger, by connecting those blockchains. So to wrap this video up, some final thoughts from myself about Quant Network, and also taking a look at the greater scale of things within the blockchain technology. I think Quant Network, those kind of appliances are really great. We need this in the blockchain world for further adoption. We need to make it easier for businesses to connect with other blockchains, so that we don't have to build a blockchain for each problem in the world, okay? It's easier that blockchains enhance each other and that we don't think in silos. I think that's really important. So I think Quant Network does its job with that. I think in philosophy behind it is very good. So in essence, projects like this have a lot of potential. We've already seen it has great potential in price. If you could get your hands on Quant when it was $2, and then of course went up to $400, that's a 200x. It's always hard to be so close to the fire to get your hands on coins like in an initial coin offering or even before that. It's very difficult. So in the general way of things, I think if you invest into crypto, I think you make a decision on what kind of projects you want to invest in and how you want to diversify within altcoins. Of course, Quant Network is an altcoin. It's a top 100 coin. It's number 33. So yeah, we'll have to see in the future how it will do. But my vision is really if we go to full mass adoption, that means the total market capitalization of crypto will go up a lot higher than it was currently in the previous all-time high, which was around 3 trillion US dollars. I think near 10 trillion US dollars should definitely be possible. And Quant Network, if they can manage to keep building on their product, and if we go to a situation, a point where they really get into the space really good, I think with a maximum token supply of 40 million, it can be a very interesting currency to take a look at. So still, there are remarks. I already mentioned them before. What is the tokenomics? What's sustainability? Especially with the buy it with fiat for subscription and then lock it in Quant while the markets move. So it's interesting how that really works. I linked the white paper in the description of the video. You cannot find the white paper on their website. Also, their tokenomics is not on their website. There's no roadmap on their website, but there are a lot of articles that you can read. I didn't read all of them. I read some of them. And of course, I did take a look at the white paper. So if you want to have more technical insight, then you can read the white paper. It's always, in my opinion, a good thing to do before you start investing into a new cryptocurrency, just so that you know technically what it is about. But I don't have insight in how many clients do they have, how much money are they making. Of course, important information for an investor to know what kind of numbers they are crunching in order to have a good understanding of growth and position in the market. Not just taking a look at the value of a coin, because a coin can be hyped. And if a hyped coin, pump and dump, we've seen that a lot of times before. But with Quant Network, it's an interesting project which I will put on my following list for the years to come. And let's see how they will do in the future. So there's some basic information on Quant Network and their currency Quant. Let me know if you already invested in Quant, what your vision is on the future of Quant Network and their Overledger. I think it's very interesting. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel but you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.